Hello again, YouTubers! Ultimate SpongeBob 11 back here again with an all-new episode review video. But first, let's take a look at this poorly recorded clip.
Mind if I take another whiff?
What the... Oh my goodness! Yeah, I totally feel like puking right now. Yeah. What in the world is happening to SpongeBob? I really would like to know. Alrighty, so today we are reviewing the entirety of episode 243. This is actually the first full 22-minute episode from season 12 that has aired, featuring the Nitwitting and the Ballad of Filthy Muck. Yes, so I did a first take review of the former, but my views have somewhat changed regarding that episode, so I figured I just might as well point out my new thoughts in this video. Alright, so let's just jump right in here and just quickly go back, take a look at the Nitwitting. Alright, so the Nitwitting premiered on Nickelodeon USA on January 13, 2019. In this episode, SpongeBob volunteers to join the Empty Head Society, a club filled with brainless fish / sea creatures. Literally, they have to remove their brains at the entrance. But anyways, so he participates in the initiation by drinking other fish's saliva, which I thought was just... I mean, seriously, why is the SpongeBob writing team even making watching the cartoon alone a reason to puke? I have no idea. I mean, seriously, you know, I watched the episode over again like 4 more times after I made that first take video. Man. By the way, he was just supposed to drink lemonade, so... yeah. Anyways, the Empty Head Society gets in their mini boats, head out to Bikini Bottom to perform their so-called civic duty, which really involved trashing the city, tearing up the sidewalks, wrecking folks at a initially peaceful bowling alley, and causing huge pileups of traffic. So SpongeBob eventually chooses to walk away, only to realize that he's losing his sanity thanks to not having his brain. I mean, obviously. I'm not even gonna ask how that makes sense, because if you don't have a brain, you will die. Like, you will die. So, anyways, he makes a fool of himself until Patrick returns his square brain to him, upon which he proceeds to vow to clean up Bikini Bottom. And he just meets Sandy, who belongs to, or at least is a member of the Fix the Empty Heads Mess Again club. And she has taken the liberty to clean up after the Empty Heads Society's huge civic duty. Alright, and the mess is all cleaned up until the Empty Head Society just shows up again, causing the mess and singing the Nitwitting song, which, by the way, I thought was okay. It wasn't too disgusting or anything, or like yucky. In fact, the rest of the episodes more was definitely more yucky than the song. So yeah. Funny moments from the Nitwitting. I think the only joke that I actually laughed was at the nerdy fish reading the minutes of the Kelpo box. It felt kind of innocent, very unique as well. And the immediate thought that when the Ice Cream King said that the fish would read the minutes was in my mind. He's gonna say 1 minute, 2 minutes. I thought, I mean, you know, you had like title cards there, but apparently not. It's okay. I didn't really mind that. I still giggled at that joke a little bit. Okay, a little bit. And moving on to recurring characters, the main recurring character that I think should be pointed out is Howard Blandy from season 4, the episode Selling Out, where he attempted to buy over the Krusty Krab. And yeah, so he was shown texting, then taking out his brain, and then just walking into the Empty Head Society. I have no idea why he would even fit in there, but okay, I guess we'll just respect his choice. And so, In general, this episode, the Nitwitting, did not stand out to me in any positive light. Of course, I did mention I laughed once and then wondered why SpongeBob seemed to be getting more and more insane than ever before. Personally, I like SpongeBob when his antics are genuinely hilarious, which was in most of the case in seasons 1 to 3, and occasionally between season 4 and 9, or if he was just acting silly, which I also didn't mind because everyone needs some mindless humor sometimes. Yeah, and in my first take video, I actually rated this episode on a scale 10. I should be doing on 5, so I gave it 6 out of 10 in my first take video, and I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in this one. So, yeah, 2 out of 5. In general, this episode was definitely nowhere near as insane as the next one we will be discussing, which is, of course, the latest episode at the point I'm making this video. Alright, The Ballad of Filthy Muck, and it premiered January 20th, Sunday. The episode begins with Patrick waking up and causing his rock to melt thanks to his unbearable stench. So he wanders across Bikini Bottom, causing some panic and stinking up the Krusty Krab, which eventually results in Mr. Krabs kicking him out. He wallows in more and more filth until he appears as a pile of garbage, or in the episode's vocabulary, muck. Because in cartoons, it's kind of hard to draw all the garbage, so just like that kind of green gunk, yeah. But instead of SpongeBob finding Patrick and cleaning him up, SpongeBob volunteers to follow Patrick and turns himself into an equally disgusting pile of muck. They then wander through Bikini Bottom, creating even more havoc before retreating to the dump. So, yeah. I mean, I guess the topic, the issue at hand of this episode is inherently yucky, so I'm not really surprised that this episode literally creates new lows every few minutes, every 1 or 2 minutes, every time it runs. Anyways, the mob chases them, attempting to destroy these monsters, alright? And the episode ends with SpongeBob convincing the Bottomites to help clean up Patrick. They end up cleaning up the muck and nothing, and Patrick wasn't even in the muck at all. So, guess what? It's again the title zone. Man, I really hate that idea of the title zone. I don't know about you guys, but seriously, why do they have to keep putting the idea of the title zone into all of these new episodes? I really don't understand. It doesn't even make any sense why it would fit in. I mean, it's always like, oh, suddenly this guy doesn't exist, and welcome to the title zone. What? No. Anyways, yeah, so Patrick actually shows up in his shower gear. It's like wearing that shower cap and a towel, and explains that he had gone home to take a nice long bath after he found out that he wouldn't be granted access into the Krusty Krab because of his stench. I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm pretty sure Patrick values Krabby Patties over his stench. And Patrick, in this episode, I've got to say, man, if I could actually say something to Patrick, because of course Patrick is a cartoon character, but if Patrick was real, I would say that, Patrick, in this episode, you are literally a genius compared to the insanity that was presented to all of us by SpongeBob. And, well, of course, again, the muck reforms on the top of the garbage. With the tourists from No Pictures Please, that dude with the camera saying his classic line, amazing! And yeah, that's how the episode ends. So, yeah. Anyone remembers Morty from the season 1 episode Hall Monitor? Yeah, so he makes 2 appearances actually in this episode, announcing the headlines. First one, of course, was that some muck was terrorizing the city, and then after that, when SpongeBob becomes mucky as well, the filthy muck has found a playmate. So, yeah, he was just doing his job, alright? A couple other characters like Administrator Flotsam from the Lost Mattress in season 4. Yeah, he appears in the Krusty Krab washroom. And another thing was Mr. Krabs was literally climbing over the bathroom claw. I can't even really call it a wall because it's like netting, like opaque netting. But yeah, you get the idea. If you did watch the episode, you know that a portion where that guy says, "Well, come please everyone." But seriously, like, how can Mr. Krabs even do that? I mean, that's probably a criminal offense right there. But yeah, we also have the Mrs. Mildred, you know, that super rich lady from the season 10 episode Krusty Catering. So yeah, quite a few recurring characters. These three are, I guess, the most significant to me. And Muck. So first, Patrick, being oblivious to the fact that he was being a public nuisance and a threat to health of Bikini Bottom, was a very yucky thing to see. Like, it was just really yucky. That moment that I showed a clip earlier of... What am I even saying? That clip that I showed earlier, you know, that moment where SpongeBob was very eager to sniff Patrick's stench from his underarms was undoubtedly my puke moment. I literally felt nauseated, alright? I mean, seriously, this is the first time I've ever felt nauseated while watching SpongeBob, and I'm not expecting to feel nauseated while watching SpongeBob because in most people's eyes, actually, SpongeBob is a kid's cartoon, and this is not something you would see in a kid's cartoon, or at least any show that was geared towards kids, because it is not funny, it is disgusting. Alright, anyways, SpongeBob stands up for the filthy Muck and the Krusty Krab, and heads to look for Patrick, who he knew was the filthy Muck. He finds Patrick, or the filthy Muck, in the dump, who repels SpongeBob with his scent. But SpongeBob puts garbage on his nose so he could reach what he believed was Patrick. Seriously, he literally scooped up muck, alright? Muck. Let's not even say garbage. Let's use muck from the ground and put it on his nose so that he could break through the stench force field that was preventing him from getting close to filthy Muck. Really? Okay. Yeah. And after that, you know, the next part was absolutely disgusting and ridiculous. SpongeBob actually decided to join filthy Muck. He turns himself into Little Yuck. Yeah, okay, I gotta give the writing crew a really great credit for like putting in these names because, like, seriously, if there were something to be laughed at in this episode, it would be the names Filthy Muck and Little Yuck. Right. So yeah, the two of them wallow in filth and cause chaos in Bikini Bottom. You know, I really wished our two playmates, Filthy Muck and Little Yuck, actually had some semblance of civic duty that was brought about in the previous episode, the Nitwitting, and clean themselves up. I mean, seriously, how is that even a good thing to wrap yourself in gunk and, you know, go around terrorizing people? That is not natural. It is insane, alright? So, you know, SpongeBob is always a little bit like exaggerated, but this episode, it was really, really insane. I cannot accept this ridiculousness. Alright, so the best moment, I guess, in the episode was when Patrick literally roasted SpongeBob and his antics by saying that he had gone home. Again, I thought his home had melted. If you did watch the episode, you see that. To take a shower and clean himself up for the betterment of society. I have gotta respect that minimal level of intelligence and self-awareness coming out from Patrick. That is, you know, now I'm actually thinking that Patrick is a decent person and SpongeBob is like, you know, the crazy dude who's just out of his mind. I mean, I thought it was the other way around, but apparently not in this episode. And for some reason, the writers felt that it was totally okay to turn SpongeBob into a psychotic pile of garbage. This episode deserves a 1 out of 5. To be honest, I would give it a 0.5 out of 5 if it were not for the Ballad of Filthy Muck song, which, by the way, they sung a little bit. But even then, I mean, if you actually look at the lyrics, I mean, this is available online. You can go and read the lyrics. Seriously, yeah, that song was kind of disgusting. So in general, alright, episode 243 is undoubtedly my least favorite episode pair in SpongeBob history. I was thoroughly disgusted twice, utterly disappointed altogether, and there have been plenty of isolated, terrible SpongeBob episodes in the past, of course, in recent memory. In my opinion, by the way, this is not suggesting that everyone should believe it this way, but I felt that Squirrel Jelly, The String, Bunny Hunt, and Pat the Horse were all really bad episodes, but none of them were literally as appalling as episode 243. I really hope that this does not signal a further downward trend for SpongeBob. Thankfully, the next SpongeBob, the next all-new SpongeBob, Krusty Slammer, doesn't sound so bad. So according to this synopsis, right, Mr. Krabs turns the Krusty Krab into a jailhouse after Plankton breaks the law, but crime only pays for so long. So that's... I mean, I don't really have much thought about this. I don't think of it negatively like I did for The Ballad of Filthy Muck. But anyway, come on, 2019 is the year of SpongeBob's 20th anniversary. So Nickelodeon, or anyone from Nickelodeon, if you're watching this, please don't ruin it. Please, alright? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode in the comments box below. Please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more weekly SpongeBob content coming up. Thank you for watching. Keep it right here on Ultimate SpongeBob 101, and yeah, see you guys next week for another first take video for the Krusty Slammer. See you guys next time. Bye.